Okay, Mrs. Brenzel, this video is for you, and I don't really feel good about adding more bad news to what I've informed you of with your bike, but I've just removed the gas tank. As you can see, that's me in the video, right? But I've just removed the gas tank, and I was getting ready to redirect this fuel line so it's not on the outside of the bike, put it on the inside. And a couple things that I noticed, and I hope that my video skills are good enough to make this obvious or clear, but this is the fuel line that has been included with your bike, this little hose clamp, which is always assuring to see. But the fuel line itself, I'm not sure if you could tell in its color, but it's a kind of a brownish gold color. And although the video can't really show it very well with lighting, you might notice inside the hose there are these very fine hairline cracks all the way through the line. If you look down between my fingers there, you'll see that it just sort of goes all the way through. The reason why these cracks are here is because this fuel line actually is not fuel line. This is a rubber hose that is intended for food grade use only. See, if I do this bending thing here, you can really see the crack. It's food grade quality only, and when you run fuel through it, it eventually over time, while it's being exposed to sunlight, because it's on the outside of the bike here, begins to break down and eventually will crack and leak and cause problems. Right now it's okay, but just give it a little bit more time, and this would have been your left leg probably soaked in gas, and you know, the potential for spilled gasoline while the engine is running is an added risk to fire. So I'm going to replace this. I respectfully am not even going to ask your permission. It's just going to get done. The second item, which is kind of a is deep inside. This is where my video skills will absolutely be called into question. But I'm just going to point down in this very dark hole, right like this, and you'll see in there that there's a little piece of plastic. And I'm just going to zoom in here really close. All right, so this is it. So the carburetor is here, this is the frame, and that is the plastic piece. This is the other end of that plastic hose, that food grade hose that I showed you. You'll see that on the actual carburetors itself, it is attached with a zip tie. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to put some light on here so we can see what we're talking about. Now, the zip tie was initially a bit of a concern of mine. See if I can get some light. Yeah, look at that. Nice. The zip tie was actually a concern of mine, but what I really want you to focus on is that the zip tie attaches a rubber hose to a plastic piece, which, as you've probably noted by now, is showing signs of cracking. And I do mean splitting in half. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cracks in this plastic piece. To save you money, I was just going to, I'm going to pull, now that you've seen that, I was just going to do this. I was just going to take this rubber hose, put the bike up because it's getting too low. All right. So I was going to take this hose, and I was just simply going to route it back under the carburetor here, and then, whoops, spilling gas, and then sort of make it reappear somewhere up here, and then the gas tank would be right here, and then just attach the hose, whoop, just like that, and it would be done. The problem with me doing this is that the fuel comes from the gas tank, goes behind the carburetors, or in between them I should say, goes down all the way to the fuel filter, which is this guy right here, and then circulates back up into the carburetors. This food grade line is not necessary. I was going to remove it anyway. But now, the premise of me removing the carburetors to shorten or replace this line with something that's shorter, doesn't have to be nearly this long, is circumvented by the obviousness of that piece down in there that I showed you, which is cracking apart. And my concern is, if I disturb it any further, it's going to break, and then it's not going to be good. So, golly.